What is up, YouTube? We are watching the Fortnite FNCS, and the team that I'm going for is the team with superhero skins. I'm not sure what their team name is, but I know they have superhero skins.
They don't have any more left. The shotguns need to start connecting. They have the angle, they have the peak, and they have the shotgun pellets. Hitting one, Bradley falls before Matt falls as well. iDrop has to respond. He's looking to try to solidify that. That's 4 points added to the time.
Oh man, this is going to be intense. Oops. Hold on. Sorry, I'm doing this. I'm just looking at something real quick.
Will he have a chance to breathe again? He's just trying to outlast things, play for that.
Okay,
Four more duels gone down.
That will work.
From iDrop. Mixon now back into with his duo. Him and Blotch have a chance to win too.
Mixon just focused on staying alive. They didn't quite realize, but now they do. They know he's below. They'll drop down, try to take him out. Don't have that ball. Won't chop it. iDrop will try and respond, but he's
I'm just going to look at my chat. This is going to be intense. Oops. Hold on. Oh, sorry, I'm doing this. I'm just looking at something. Oh, that's how I do it. Okay.
Unstoppable, unreachable, and absolutely lethal inside the first day of EU.
In a game where so many teams felt like they were struggling, trying to hustle their way through that game, these guys had the easiest of rides. It was so simple for them all throughout that end game, and they close it out in typical Queasy and Vino fashion.
I'm hearing that Queasy's falling asleep. He's having trouble staying awake this FNCS. I mean, if you're playing like this, then things are going to protocol. They're going your way. Vino's down low, taking on these 1v2s. Everything's going to plan. These guys are the bread and butter of EU. Nothing can stop them.
And look, we were talking about how earlier Queasy's probably falling asleep on hype. He most definitely is. Because earlier in the season, he would have at least...
Aw, dang it, the superhero skins didn't win.
Have to actually do something. Now he can just sit there and watch as Vino picks up all the limbs down below.
So whether it's comedy, action, suspense, you can give a tag for this duo because we can't really figure it out. Are they sleeping? Are they awake? We know they're great. What do Adam and the analysts think? Because that's a nuts game.
Absolutely nuts. I mean, Queasy and Vino again, victory royale here. I mean, I'm glad we hyped up some of the shots.
Wow.
They're proving
2 victory royales in a row.
I mean, the fact they split up
Jeez.
top down below, sweeping up, absolutely amazing. Taco, what a great game from this pair.
And it's almost expected at this point. I mean, the moment that you see Queasy establishing himself on that high ground,
how do I?
continuing to post such a
I want to zoom in.
He doesn't even need to IGL for Venom. He can use his own eyesight.
Zoom in.
A situation of stay alert, stay alive for everybody aside from those two.
Look, I'm getting a little sense of deja vu, right? We've seen this today. We've seen Queasy and Vino dominate that high ground from the 1 versus 2 down below to
Queasy to Vino.
Kind of looking down. Oh, Vino just took out 2 opponents, just got us the VR. You know, I'll take it.
Absolutely right. I mean, this team right now, we love to kind of share with you guys at home how much we get excited about these particular duos and who we think should go the way. But it really is a case now of everything they've done up until this point, the experiences they've had. It all comes together, the combination, everything. We're seeing it in front of our very eyes here. Why they are so good, but they're able to move with everything that's thrown in front of them. They're an unstoppable force, Taco.
Again, it's just the awareness level, really, that this duo chooses to consistently maintain throughout the entirety of a single lobby, because it doesn't matter who might actually be trying to prioritize height. At some point, if Queasy and Veno are still up, they're going to chop you down, and they're going to besiege it by force.
Look, they make it happen, right? They can get the job done.
Okay, there's their faces.
Against Queasy Vino in the late game, but they're gonna have to get off the start for that.
Yeah, I think we all love to see that. But what we're excited to see here as well is currently how the leaderboard stands as well. Let's take a look at this. The standings right now, and there they are atop the rest of the pack here in Grand Finals.
Oh my gosh!
Queasy and Vino with 280 points, 20 eliminations, 200 placement points. I mean, they are way out in front here.
Dang!
When it comes down to it, having 2
they're good.
is really starting to become more of a separating factor. Those eliminations might be worth 4 points a pop, but if you can just keep collecting more and more game 1 wins, there's only so much you can do. And Queasy and Veno, they just seem unstoppable.
They do, but let's take a look at the number 2 on the leaderboard. Blotcha and Mixon at 246 points. This duo is not someone you want to sleep on.
Oh my gosh, that's the superheroes team. That's the superhero team I was going for. Hey, at least we're in 2nd place.
They were playing together.
That's good, that's good.
It did ultimately end end with the Venno 1 versus 2. At least they got that second place and a good amount of eliminations that bumped them up to that second place spot on the leaderboard.
They're basically just making do with what they've got because we can see their mats running incredibly low, forced to kind of just take shelter underneath some of those low layers that have already been established from before. But I think where it really starts with this duo is that they've actually been slightly surprise contested over at Meadow Mansion. It's been Mikkel and Monet that have been forced off of their original drop spot because of Vanyak and Karmi. And so seeing Blacha and Mixon find that success, I think, stems back to the fact they got their damage early.
Yeah, they really have. They've bumped up 3 points to 3 positions now into second. Let's look at the rest of the leaderboard here as well. We can see now as well, Cami and Seti, there they are, sat in 7th position right now. 8 eliminations, 170 placements. They are putting themselves in contention. They're managing to stay in there. May not have a victory just yet, Takata, but they're managing to get in there, at least put themselves up a consideration when it comes to Grand Finals and the actual champions.
Right, it's not a bad place to be in, right? Being in the top 10, being in the 7th place spot.
At first I thought I heard top 5 gaming.
Bumping themselves up to that top 3 or even, you know, second, first place on the leaderboard. We saw what Thomas HD and Malabuco were capable of when they got a big, impactful match. So if Cami and Seti can keep up the consistency and then get one big game, you know, they'll make their way up that leaderboard.
I mean, I think Seti and Cami are probably the embodiment of slow and steady wins the race, because how many times have we seen them in this position where they're not necessarily in that top 5 just yet, but it only takes 1 or 2 games to actually catapult yourself into that position, and it's proven already by how far they've climbed as is.
It really is. It's exciting. It's 4 games down, 2 to go today. But one thing we often talk about here on the show is Storm Surge. For newer players as well,
Storm Surge.
What's going on here? But Storm Surge, look at this. I love the lights have changed like a superhero. Full control right now. Storm Surge, a massive factor in this. And for those who probably want to know more about it, how has it been affecting Grand Finals thus far?
Yeah, so let's take a look here. We're on the southeast side of the map by Mega City, and if you look at the left side of this zone, that's going to be the congested side, and that's exactly where Vanyak and Karmi positioned themselves, but on a hill, so they're elevated enough to see all those duos that are rotating in through the POIs to the congested side of this zone, where the contrary dead side by Naughty Nets and Kajutsu Crossing, it doesn't have a lot of people. Now they have a lot of options from all these players, all these duos rotating in to get that down.
I've never been interested in the FNCS, but I am now.
From a duo that's consistently made it into Grand Finals 10 times combined, because Vanyak, Karmi, they used to be able to depend on Mikkel and Monet at their original drop spot south of Frenzy Fields, but since they've pushed off Mikkel and Monet from trying to directly 50-50 them there, this is their adaptation by choosing to take sites instead towards that congestion over by Mega City. Granted, it didn't pan out for them. They definitely had their struggles, but it's the thought that counts.
It's the thought that counts, but I mean, they got a good job done, right?
They did a great job done. I mean, I think Storm Surge, I mean, having to not think about it when you get those tags is so pivotal as well. I mean, everything's to play for. 2 games left today and a whole day tomorrow as well. We are going into our next game very shortly, and we'll top the leaderboard by the end of the day. 2 games left to find out what's going to happen next, but I feel another storm brewing right now. I can feel it in the air. It's time to jump into game.
Where's a Fortnite kid? I mean, I am too. But let's not talk about that. I'm just gonna have jelly beans filled with cocaine and cake.
Today's games are starting to wrap up, Kyle, but still plenty more Fortnite to be played.
6 more games on day number 2, and in EU we've seen the biggest changes. They reached first place and then dwindle all the way to irrelevancy only on this region.
It's mad. Some of the things we're seeing from these teams, right? The one thing I will say is that, again, if Malabuco and Thomas can start to get their way back into this one, how far can they rise in the standings, right? That will be the question. Queens and Vino's dominance, I think, was inevitable in today's games. The question is, are there going to be more hurdles thrown at them? They're already founding one in terms of being contested. Can they keep up with it?
Absolutely, being contested, being in that position is huge for the lobby leaders. For the rest of the people who are kind of in the mid-game, kind of against these players, two Trick and Toos, where do they move overall, right? When they're going off spawn, how do they turn those games into points? Shimoki, Swizzy being contested by Podosai Snazy, how do they switch up their entire games all across the line?
And I think the big thing, right, is if you do find yourself lower down in the standings, there are still so many more opportunities. You have to keep a good mental. You have to start being observant, right, of areas and things you can do to capitalize come tomorrow. Because again, it will be a whole different lobby in feeling. Same players, but it will feel very, very different. And you can use these last 2 games to start to figure out exactly how you can benefit from that. We're seeing the players glide on in here. Trulex and Cheeky over on the south side, Sappy, Tayson and Mustache on the north side. But here at the racetrack, it's Putrick and Toos against Malabuk and Thomas for the 5th time.
Featuring Bevies and Pablo Ringo. I want to add that feature now onto this track. Race or not. Thomas HD, Malabuk are on a timer. Seems like Putrick and Toos always get this flip truck and have so much shield to work with. This would have basically been almost an elimination onto Putrick, but as Malabuk is shooting, Toos knocks him down. Thomas HD forced into the same jump. I'm looking at my memories. I see deja vu, and no one's winning here at all. Just from the backside.
Ooh, knocked him out. Ooh, this is a big fight right here. Hide in the garbage can? Bro, stupid. Why hide in a garbage can?
I think that, yeah, Thomas will finally go down to Pablo Wingu. And these guys are the winners at the end of the day.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, right? Because they just can't do anything about it. Pablo and Bevis are just going to roll on through. They hunt him down. And again, you know, some people will be happy that this is exactly what they needed to do. Pablo
There's 12 games.
Vulnerable around them. They found the most vulnerable fight. And that also battle between those two teams we've been watching all day. I don't know how you count it now, right? Because again, it was 3-1 to Toos and Putrick. That game, both teams get taken out, right? So 3-1.
I'm gonna go in the lower living room area.
For me, it's one team qualified for global.
It's over by the crown area. It's up there. Why can't I hear this one? Oh, it's right there also.
They have won a majority of the time, so if they even get remotely unleashed, remember, it's just top 5 in any of these, or at least in Major 2. I think there's a few more spots available than in Major 3 and a last chance squad. If this team slides through, it's trouble in paradise for Thomas HD and Malabuka. Meanwhile, for a bunch of these other teams, you got to be looking at now, what are we really aiming for here at the end of day 1? Where do we want to be points-wise coming into day 2? Are we striving for an FNCS championship here? Is that what this franchise is all about? Or do we want to hit top 5 and make it a Globals?
Well, for Janice and Reason, I think either would be ideal for them, right? We obviously saw how their story ended when it came to FNCS last season. Finished day 1 in first, dropped off to around 5th place. Was it 4th? I can't remember exactly. It
Might have been 8th overall, I don't even know.
was one of the two. It was around 5th or 4th. One of those two.
I don't know nothing.
This time round, though, they have the potential to finish there, but not if they get snuck up on like this. Cosmos didn't quite hit enough from behind, but Janice is still alive, not working with much HP, and now they're going to jump in. Reason is here, though, and the truck smashers come out to help him. Almost really, really bad for the Germans.
Did they hear like 4 splashes? Like, all right.
We're back.
I don't want your life story and all that. I'm out of there.
Smart disengage, wise dodge, I'd say.
Hold on, let me check out my quests.
Okay, another chance.
There's no FNCS quests.
Sneaking in. And unfortunately, Basoki can't catch the rope. I think Hydra might have just used it to get all the way side high.
Oh my gosh, that's just toxic. He just emoted on him. Totally couldn't be me. Oh shoot.
Can kind of go all the way up top on that rope at a time. Everyone kind of using everything in terms of what they have at their disposal. This game's theme is sneaky tactics, I guess. Crouching, waiting, going for a shot as everyone's kind of in the rhythm of their drop spot. Jurgen for Dox will be able to just play their game.
Quite personally, I would not take that get emoted on.
Jutsu, maybe towards the top left side of the map right now. Vino and Queasy separated it to try to get as much loot as possible and get ready for their games. Almost around 40 points ahead of the competition. For them, I mean, I asked the question at the beginning, what does everyone want to do at the end of game 1? Queasy and Vino want to just be on an island of their own, separated from the rest of the lobby. High points. Get as many points per game as possible.
Like we have here, Vanek and Kami, they were lobby leaders at one point today. They lost that spot after going down last game.
Oh, look, there's both superheroes.
It's such a messy situation here as Team Springs. You see they're trying to rotate out of the way, but they're going to start running into Jalen and Spy. Kefi and Pachawa there as well, still up and alive. It's interesting to see, right? Jalen and Spy, Kefi and Pachawa both still alive. Both those teams are contesting each other, fighting off spawn throughout the day. Both teams staying up. Boaz is in the mix. Like, there's so many different teams in this Team Springs area that are just making it such a tight spot to move around.
We get bottlenecked almost. You don't get out fast. It's very tough, and we've seen the effects of that. The unfortunate story of Coachella, this FNCS, in the storm. Fortunate so far for Tayson and Mustache. They've had a game under their belts. Every win so far has also just looked really easy for the team that's in control at the end of the day. Cool pattern to notice.
Hold on, guys. I'll be right back.
Not too bad overall on day one. 13th place.
Mama, I'm gonna go poop in there.
One good game could be.
Actually, I'll go upstairs because you're doing your makeup.
Definitely you can. And I think what we've seen from them throughout the qualifying weeks is that they have that big game potential. I was actually quite impressed with a lot of what I saw from that team. And so I'm hoping that even if it isn't today, we eventually get to start to see some of their best play come out tomorrow.
No, he hasn't respawned. I wonder if he's in the pool or something.
At the end of day one, you have a chance at being top 5.
It shows that Henry's online, but he's not accepting my party invites or...
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Come back to the point
Yeah.
seeing how it is. 4 points per an elimination is massive. You have one big pop-off game, you know, you see an up arrow and 40 next to it. We've seen that today, so we know it's possible.
Top 5, very different in this FNCS. Gives you a spot at Global. Global Championships happening towards the end of the year. You're not just competing against people in your region, but across all 6 that are active and playing right now. Tayson and Mustache, they will be there.
They will be there. They've already picked up 1 FNCS win so far this year and potentially a second on the horizon. They sit in 3rd place in the standings, and that's a nice spot to be in as you head into the second day. Of course, they need to do well here and in the next game to maintain that. But considering that they themselves necessarily weren't too confident about their chances, with how well they're doing, I think it goes to show that this is a team that, come global time, are definitely going to be big, big contenders to win the whole thing.
These guys on site, in person, look so good. And I would say an up-and-comer that can translate kind of their beginnings into absolutely dope success at the end of the day on EU. Della and Pixie came out absolutely swinging in Major 1. I believe top 5, top 6 finish. Took home a lot, and today looked really good in terms of starting games, starting end games with good protocols, good spots. Unfortunately, they're fighting Queasy Vino, which is what happened in the last FNCS as well. They have to overcome the hardest boss in EU. Asa and Slove come up against many different EU duos in their games. Feels like they're just taking whichever scrappy fight they can where they at least have some sense of control.
You told me these guys are playing drop shot roulette, I believe you. They're everywhere. They're everywhere all the time. I feel like they're everywhere. Generally towards this northwest side of the map, though.
The thing is, that it feels like they know exactly what they're doing in all these new spots over and over again.
Well, they know what they want to do.
Yeah.
And that's fight. And they feel very confident in fight. You see Acid trying to take angles. They want to try pincer Podesai in here. That's exactly what they'll do. They just keep claiming space. Keep trying to force him down the wrong corner.
Oh, hold up.
Himi and Misha are very, very close by, and they might not know that. They have to be careful. They might get snuck up on completely. Teeny just patiently waiting for the shot, and they don't have a clue.
Breaking a few walls left and right. Absolutely silent. Teeny's done this once before. They get edited down. Oh no. Gotta make sure your cones stay cones, and because of that, Teeny Misha found out, and it looks like they don't really have the speed or confidence. They really want to take this full fight. They were just looking for that damage, and then they just wanted to get out. But team's gonna lock into this one. May as well. You gotta get your surge somewhere.
Yeah, this is going to be a huge fight for them, and what they probably will need to take now, switching hands, right? We go from getting snuck up on to trying to sneak up on people. And yeah, Tini Amisha getting out of the way, not without taking a bit of damage. I'm sure I sort of wished he could have got a bit more out of that. The shots definitely were lined up there, but only getting 34 damage out of it.
Now that's how you just let him run for that extra 2 seconds. Could have beamed it a little bit. Giving some schmecky between them with them a little while ago. They were looking good in terms of getting in the zone, but bad on surge overall. So these south zone pulls still giving them big tests to overcome. Lots of teams ahead. I'm surprised we're not watching like that pitfall game in game 5. A lot of the times people just start to really key and switch things up before having a stoic last game. Everyone here is just still locked in EU.
Yeah. We're very, very used to seeing these game 5s be a bit messy in their nature.
Cammy and Seti as well. Up inside of base, Frenzy look good, but why are they set up for success in this game? Mini has the answers.
Lots of reasons indeed. Cammy and Seti doing the little things to find success and hopefully set up for the rest of the game. Actually, Seti here using the dumpster diving augment to hop inside of one of the haystacks nearby. This actually gets him maximum ammo to use later on down the line, so hopefully now they can use that for those Storm Surge tags. And they've actually secured themselves a combat cache, getting them so much gold loot and, of course, those slurps as well. Hopefully they can use them to find success.
No, they say one man's trash, another man's medium ammo. I didn't expect it to get you that hard. That's crazy. Oh, man. But that's good. I mean, an insight to see exactly why they have so much ammunition, why they're looking so good towards the end of the game. And one pattern I've noticed, these mid-game analysts that come in, whoever they're doing the piece on, 50-50 success rate of them getting top 5 at the end of the game. Possibly, 50%. Source that stat that I just said, by the way, too. It's just a feeling I have in my heart.
You are the king of fake stats. Like, you are actually the king of fake stats.
But they sound good, don't they? Like, you want to believe them.
We
I'm back, guys.
about your fake stats. That's what I want.
You won't find those. You won't find those.
What you will find over at Brutal Bastion is 2 teams going at it for an eternity here. I feel like there have just been no winners out of Brutal Bastion in terms of just like overarching success throughout the season, even though it has the vault. You think it's very powerful, very strong, but all teams just desperately fighting for it, and it just ends up being nobody comes out on top.
No one has their stamp on it yet, which I feel, yeah, it's exactly why. It's like an emerging POI. It's kind of how things were in the old days when no one really had a claim on retail, so to speak, at the start of every season. Even though it's established, you know how to play it. So many teams would scrap for it over and over again, stay inside the zone. Same thing with the Shark. This season is Brutal Bastion. This is completely anecdotal too, but a lot of the time I feel like this spot itself becomes the hot spot in a lot of these games.
Well, yeah, 100%. So many of the teams in the area know if we need loot, go to Bastion.
Yeah.
Loot first, there's gonna be people.
Or you can ask Cameron if he
Everybody
can stay
knows
over
that
his
you can
place
just go Brutal
because
Bastion, and
Cameron
there'll be something there. If you're looking for something,
stayed over our
something will be
place
there,
when
whatever it is.
their parents had.
Or I can ask Mason.
Much more sludgy,
Yeah.
viscous, and difficult to actually
Whatever he
navigate
wants
and
to.
get out of. You get
But you
trapped
gotta
in there
figure
like
out
quicksand,
something.
even though you're running on snow.
Because I'm
Brian
going to
Jalen?
leave at like
Jumping
5:30.
into the zone. So
So I
you
can
must have
go
a cash
over
of sorts or
to-
something left. Maybe it's just for mats, and then they get back in.
Yeah, and these guys haven't had many opportunities to play out a game like this, right? And so I want to see them make the most of it. Because again, this is a team with no Grand Finals experience. Jalen and Spy making their first Grand Finals, and I think they've got a lot of people rooting for them, and understandably their journey, their run so far has been incredibly impressive. But it's all about using this first day to figure things out, right? It's your first Grand. I don't think anybody ever expects people to do well in their first Grand. It's such a hard lobby. It's very rare you see a team do well in their first Grands. Hopefully they can start to pick things up over the course of the next 6 games after this one.
at least are on the same page with all the decisions. That's doing well. Step one in a lot of books. You know, Queasy, I love this position. A lot of the times when you're defending from really high vertical fire, you expose yourself to low ground angles and mid ground angles. So anytime the island shoots first, Queasy Vito might have a chance to land 3 shots on people, getting those builds down. Anchored in the zone, I feel like has had trouble, just like many of these outside landing teams, of getting in. No stranger to fights, 298 above, but in terms of overall positioning, I mean, these guys are just chasing more and more and more in terms of just trying to get some fights down rather than position inside the zone.
Yeah, and they've had their fair share of surge problems throughout the day, and I think that's pretty widely.
What just happened? What the heck? What happened? Who is that? I don't know who that is. Excuse my mom's horrible singing. If you hear it. She's not singing right now. Mama!
What?
Can you not play songs with bad words because I'm doing a family-friendly live stream?
It didn't say any backwards.
I-
Let's come around.
I know, but I know you have sounds with bad words on your Shazam tracks. Does Mason want to come over? Hold on, let me test something. Because I might do a VR stream. Alexa, when's the 23rd?
The next occurrence of the 23rd is Tuesday, May 23rd, 2023.
This might be possible, guys. I might do my first VR stream ever. Okay, what the heck? Oh. Where did it go? Hold on. Devices. Oh. Let me do this real quick, guys. Alright, guys, let me just do this real quick. Me. Add.
Boom. It should automatically, when you select it, pop up a msedge.exe and choose the one that has whatever content on it you want. Mine is Google. Right here, going to cap, and you can still capture that source. Plus button, window capture. Once you do this, I recommend naming it whatever the content is going to be for you. I'm just going to call it Edge for me for the tutorial today. And then here you're going to see every single window available on your computer with this drop down bar right here. Go ahead and select the window that is called msedge.exe and choose the one that has whatever content on it you want. Mine is Google. Boom. It should automatically, when you select it, pop up a preview of it here in OBS Studio. One option you can select is whether you want to have your cursor on or off, or visible or not. For tutorials, I recommend leaving it on so people can see what you're doing. For any other type of content where you're just looking to get kind of a clean feed, I don't recommend leaving your cursor on because it can look sloppy. I'm going to go to my Twitter feed here, and as you can see, as I freely browse around the internet, look at my Twitter feed, it updates automatically here in OBS so we know the capture is working properly. Hit OK. You can resize this window capture as you see fit, move it anywhere you want, make it tiny in the corner, make it super huge if you'd like. One thing to note about window capture though, let me bring in the actual window I'm capturing. Notice how when I squish this window down and I resize it, the real-time one is here in yellow in the bottom right. It actually resizes it in real time in OBS. So if you want it to be full screen, you need to maximize whatever that window is that you're capturing on one of your monitors or your main monitor. Okay? You can also crop, if you will, the content that you're showing audiences by literally resizing the actual window.
Okay. Let's go. Why does it always get stuck to me? Alright. Go to camera and select cast. What does it mean by that? Oops, no, get me out. Okay. Hold on. Hold on a second, guys. Oops. Okay. Okay, hold on. Let me do something. Let me see.